Do you want to use LLM and AI in your organizations, but you're not allowed to do for security reason? Then this video is for you. You need Ollama chat model. And if you click Ollama chat model here, you can pick any type of model that you want to use for your AI model. And in my particular case, I'm using Gamma 3 because that's the lightest. But then again, you can just simply go to their website, GitHub, for instance, that you can just choose any kinds of model that you want from your a particular case. But since my laptop's capability is not that great, so Gamma 3 is the lightest. And because the context for our demonstration is using LLM locally in your organizations without giving away the security or confidential information, then normally in the office environment, people are using either Slack or Microsoft Teams. So in this video, let's use Microsoft Teams. And if I execute the workflow, then I send a message to this account, you will see that the AI is doing its job. Okay, so it's working. And if we go back, we can kind of see that we got the reply. Okay, now this is definitely working, and let's get started. Okay, there's a caveat here, yeah. Uh, for the Ollama model, especially Gamma 3, you're not going to be able to do or to use any tools. If you want, you can choose GPT-OSS. But then again, I would highly recommend you to use a strong graphics card like RTX 8000 on your laptop if you want to. But then again, because the context here is using the AI model in your organizations, you normally have like quite some budget to buy a good graphics card. Okay, the first thing you need to do, you need to enable NNN locally on your laptop or PC. And in order to do that, you need npm. Since I'm using Arch Linux, so I'm gonna use this tutorial. But if you are using other types of Linux flavors, like Ubuntu, for instance, then this is the right um, prompt for your npm installation. Now, um, I've already installed npm. I do believe that npm has already been enabled on the first day I installed my Catchy OS. So I just directly install NNN through npm by using this command. And I'm not gonna do this because I've already done this, and I'm just gonna skip it. Now, the second thing is you need to install ngrok. So the purpose for this, I'm not really sure how to pronounce this to be honest, is to expose your local NNN to outside so that you can exchange data to the with the likes of Google APIs or Microsoft APIs, so that you can send and receive messages through emails or calendars or Teams, for instance, or even modify some documents as well. Because if you don't use this, then normally your local internet connections is gonna block that, because you need to sort of like you know forward your port that is currently used by NNN. Okay, now go ahead and create an account and follow the instructions. If you're using Linux, you can use apt, but since I'm using Arch Linux, download it manually is the best for me. Since I've already done that, I'm not interested in doing this again. And once you have that installed, what you need to do is you need to go back to your terminal, and then you can just simply use ngrok, and then I think it's auth token, and then include the token that you can get from basically from your setup and installations. If you scroll down, you will see the token. Okay, and once that's ready, okay, so I'm gonna stop this. And once that's ready, what you need to do is you need to go to your domains, and then you need to copy the domains, which is actually from ngrok. You can specify the customized version of it, but the thing is you have to pay. I'm currently using the free one because it's just for demonstration purpose. So I'm just gonna use this one then. Okay, now before you start, you need to set some parameters for NNN because by default, the NNN is gonna be using the local host. Therefore, what you need to do is you need to on the terminal do the export, right? And then export webhook URL. I already have mine, and as you can see that this one is uh, this is basically the domain that we copied earlier from Brock. And okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click enter, and then the next one is gonna be export n8 and host, and that's gonna be the domain without HTTPS. Okay, now you're gonna have to find a way how to make it permanent. Since I use Arch Linux and I normally use Ubuntu, I could just simply go to the bash rc and then put these parameters, and it's gonna load every time I start a new terminal. But I think for this demonstration, I just show you how to set those parameters so that you can know. And once you've set those parameters, you can just simply start NNN. Okay, there we go. It has started, and now we remember that the port is 5678. This is the normal one. If you can set this to something else if you want, but it's not gonna be my today's video. Then you need to enable grok by doing this. Type grok http and the port from NNN, so it's gonna forward that port to grok domain. There we go. Now it's online, and we can now go ahead and access our NNN. Okay, if you want to test, we can go back here again, and we can do this. I'm gonna copy link. Oop, can't be reached. Wonder what happened. It's probably because I didn't copy everything. Yes, that's right. Okay, I'm gonna copy link and paste. Okay, yep, so it means it's working. I don't want to do this again, to be honest, so I'm just gonna close it and focus on the local host because it's the same. And I'm gonna create a new workflow, and the first thing I need to do is I need to enable the trigger. Then that's gonna be Teams. Okay, where is Teams? There we go. And that's gonna be on new chat message, right? So it's gonna be everything. So the way it works is a little bit funny, to be honest. It's not like Telegram. Telegram is like straightforward. You got the ID, you got the sender, you got the body of the message. But Teams is not like that, and so that's why a little bit of work run is gonna be needed. And yeah, I'm just gonna start by enabling new credentials. So I've already added mine, but for the purpose of this video, let's just do this because this isn't the easiest. Now, you can see that if you forgot to set the parameters that we described before, then this is going to be localhost, and that's not going to work with Microsoft. And I think with the Google APIs as well, because they want HTTPS, whilst the localhost is HTTP, right? It's not secure, essentially. Now, let's go to, I'm going to click this one because this one has a very good kind of a link to go to the Microsoft application registration portal. So let's click this one, and you need to create an account. I have my account already, so and I've got some applications in here. And for this purpose, I'm just gonna create a new registration. Then I'm gonna name it like NNN Teams Local. Okay, and that's gonna be multi-tenant. right? And that's gonna be web, okay, for the URI. And I'm gonna go back to okay, redirect URL. I'm gonna copy this and then I'm gonna paste this one here. Okay, I'm gonna register. Let's wait. Okay, it's ready. And so this is the client ID. I'm gonna copy here and I'm gonna paste here. Okay, then I'm gonna go to create a new certificate. I'm gonna click this new client secret, and that's gonna be, I'm just gonna type secret, right? And this is gonna tell you when it's gonna expire. So I'm gonna say start today and end tomorrow. Okay, at. By the way, this is the kind of thing that you need to discuss with the admin of your Microsoft account, and each company has, like an IT department that has this kind of access. So if you need to do this, you're gonna have to talk to them because normally you don't have the access to something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and I'm gonna paste it here. Okay, I think it's good enough. So I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna connect to my account, and I'm gonna click this one. Yeah. There you go. I'm gonna click consent, and I'm gonna accept this, and yes, it's successful. Okay. Close, I think. Yep. Okay. Let's give it a go. Yeah. Okay. Let me send a message. Hello. Do we see something? Okay. Oops. I think we need to re-execute the step. Try again. Okay. There we go. We got something. And yeah, this is it. We don't know actually what the message is, right? We only get the ID, and then this is what is chats. Okay. Now, okay, that's working. So it means we have the credential account connected properly. And next, what we need to do is we need to okay, we need something a little bit custom. All right. So that's gonna be code. Okay. Now the reason why is because of this. So we got the ID, but then okay, before that, it's easier if I just demonstrate that. Teams, okay, and then that's gonna be get anything, get many channels, get chat message. So you got the chat, you got the message ID, right? And so basically for the chat itself, if you chat with different people, then the ID is gonna be different, right? And there's also a message ID, which, to be honest, I'm not really sure what is. Um, from lists, we can kind of say that it's with me, but with a different account, and this is gonna be ID, right? So I need to extract the ID. If we go back, you can kind of see that this is essentially the ID of the chat message ID, which is all the way from here through here, right? And we're gonna need some customized code in JavaScript to just extract that particular part of the data, right? So the code is simple, very simple. So I'm gonna expose this code in the description below, and let's just try this. Okay, great. So you got two return values, the chat ID and the message ID. So this is exactly what we want. And let's go back to the teams, and let's drag this, and also this one. Okay, and let's execute. Let's see. There we go. Oh, it's a bit confusing, right? Hello. Oh, interesting. So there's an HTML, whilst I didn't have this previously. Okay, that's fine. So it's working. And what we need to do is we need to enable the AI tools. Now for the AI tools, we need to go to Ollama. without the NNN. Click this and download this, right? So if you are on Linux, then this is the way you do it. If you're on Windows, this is the way you do it. And this is, if you are using Mac OS, that's the way you do it. I'm using Linux, so this is how I did it, right? Now, since I have already had my Ollama model installed, so I don't need to do this. Once you do this, what you need to do is you need to start a model. Just like I said, I need a Gamma 3 because that's the lightest. So just go ahead and go to your terminal and then execute this command. And if you want something else, let's say I think it's Quen, isn't it? I don't remember. Quen is, they say that is actually good enough, or maybe DeepSeek R1. You just go to Ollama GitHub, and it will tell you everything. Let's say if you want to install, see, this is the list essentially. Ooh, this is not everything. If you click the library, then you can find everything. So this GPTOSS, if you want Quen, you can do that as well, but this is a bit heavy. And there's DeepSeek R1 and etc. Okay, go nuts. So in my personal case, I'm just gonna use Gamma 3. Okay, so I'm gonna start it. Okay, let's just wait. Okay, that's it, right. Hello. There you go. We got the reply. Interesting. And what we need to do next is we click AI and then AI agent. And because this is not from chat model, so this is from Teams. So I'm just gonna define this below, and I'm gonna go ahead and um, forward this content. Okay, and I'm gonna need to enable the system message, and I'm gonna say your input is in HTML format, so please parse the content before process the message. Okay, right. And the chat model is gonna be Ollama. Fantastic. Okay. Now, if I want to create a new credential, that's gonna be something like this. Okay, so I'm gonna save it. You're gonna have a problem, right? Yes, this is actually correct. The port is actually correct, but for Ollama specifically, if this doesn't work, it works on my Ubuntu, but not so much in my CatchOS or Arch Linux. So I'm gonna type the IP address by numbers like this. This is actually localhost as well. Okay, you don't need API key because this is basically locally on your PC. So I'm gonna save and I'm gonna retry that again. Connection tested successfully. Great. Now let's just wait a little bit. Okay. Now that's gonna be Gamma 3. Okay. And okay, let's play it. Okay, that's working. And as you can see that, hello, how can I help you today? So that's the great output. And the next thing you need to do is you need to get Microsoft Teams to reply, and that's gonna be create chat message. Okay, there's something that I want to do. So include link to workflow. Do I need this? Probably not. And the chat again, it's gonna be ID, and that's gonna be the ID from the JavaScript, and the message gonna be the output. Okay, content type. Oh, this is wrong. 1 second. Okay, this is what I mean actually. Okay, right. Yeah, great message. What is this? The value is not supported. Okay, tell you what. Let's start over. I think I dragged and dropped the wrong kind of variables. That's gonna be create chat message. Okay, this is correct. This is correct. And yes, true. And that's gonna be by ID. We go back to the code in JavaScript. We drag and drop this one. And for the message, it's gonna be something like this. Okay. And add option. Do not include the link to the to workflow. Um, I think this is okay now. Okay, let's execute this. Okay, so I've got the reply. If I can, is this one? Oh, this is the one. Okay, there you go. Hello, can I help you today? Nice. Okay, and okay, this is working. So I think what I need to do is to save this and execute the workflow again. Okay, I'm gonna try again. How are you? Okay, well, if I'm honest, Gamma 3 isn't really that great, you know. Later on, you will, if you are used to using Anthropic model, for instance, or Gemini, or ChatGPT, especially ChatGPT 5 on NNN, and you integrate the tools, and it's just fantastic how smart that model is. And this is one example that, well, it's light, isn't it? So, of course, it's like you got what you pay for, something like that. And even though it's free already, but the computational price is actually very low, and that's the result that you get. Not only that, it can't be integrated with external tools, but it also gives you a very shallow and not so bright outcomes. But then again, because this is exactly what you want from your organization, basically your company, to do internally and locally, it is very important for you to allocate a budget to buy a very good graphics card. Okay, so in general, it is working, and I hope you guys enjoy this. And thanks for watching.